Hi, everybody. As we're approaching 4th of July, and, we already passed Memorial Day the other day. I remember as a child going to different parades. One was the Memorial Day in Parma Heights, which was at Parma South Presbyterian Church, is where all the councilmen would meet, and their kids would be there, and we would hop in the back of a pickup truck, and we'd pass these little flags out to the councilmen so they could pass out to residents, and in the community, and there would be boxes and boxes of these flags, and even today I put my flag out in the front of my yard because I'm still proud to be American. I might have done some wrong things over the years, but I'm still proud to be in the freest country around where we have the right to vote for the candidate of our choice, even if some people don't think we have that right, or they'll get mad because you voted for somebody they don't like and they'll disrespect you on Facebook and social media. I noticed that's how the left has been so much over the last several years. If you don't agree with everything that they want, they kind of condemn you and disrespect you. But I got a word for those that hate our country, that hate our government, that hate everything about our country. Move out to another country. You have that right to move. You don't have to be in our country, where you can work, you can worship God, you could have the religion of your choice. We have the freest country around, and I see so many people that like to complain and pick on our government. Not that I support everybody that's in office, but we have the right to choose, and vote for the person that we want to see in our elected offices. And it's just sad the way people treat each other, that they don't think you should have that right to vote the way you think is the proper way. I've always, and those that know me know I was raised in a Christian home. When I was in high school, I started a group that kind of modeled after Youth for Christ, that Dr. Billy Graham started back in, I think it was the 40s. But we called it Greater Cleveland Youth for Life. And Dr. Jack Wilkie, who at the time was the president of National Right to Life, Margaret Mass, Don Williams, who was the president of Greater Cleveland Right to Life, met with me because I asked them about starting something for our high school students, because I was still in, I think, 12th or 11th grade at the time. And, so we started the group. We became pretty successful. We had a proclamation from President Ronald Reagan. We had one of our big meetings at Padua High School. I spoke at several schools when I was in high school about the issue. I did my studying, reading. I learned the dangers that abortion can cause on women. I've talked to doctors from Cleveland Clinic, Parma Community Hospital at the time, and other areas that advised against abortions, except in the life of the mother. So that was my first thing that I really got more politically involved. My father was active in local politics in the Republican Party in Cuyahoga County. So I was raised in, a political family where I take my voting very serious. I think, we should have the right, to vote out conscience. Vote, if we're Christians, we're going to have a higher standard that was set upon us. And, to vote for the person that we believe that will share our same values. But I'm asking people on 4th of July, if you could put a flag in front of your house, or or just have a small flag like this, and you could put this outside in your yard and wave the flag. Let's all wave our flags at, say, 9 o'clock in the morning or something, and show people that we love our country. You don't have to necessarily love who's running our country, but loving a country is a total different thing. We have a responsibility. I've been a prisoner advocate for many, many years, and we still have one of the better systems in America than if you go to some of these other countries where they have people laying on top of each other, or when you're sentenced to death, they just take you right out and kill you. You don't have no appeals. So we still have the greatest country of all. And getting to Israel, it talks about in Revelations that any country that goes against Israel will be doomed. And I'm going to support Israel. The president is doing the right thing by protecting Israel. Anybody that goes against Israel is going contrary to what the Bible says. That's for those of us that believe in the Bible. And I understand not everybody understands the Bible or believes in God. I understand that. I respect you. But you need to know where my faith stands. And we still have an obligation as Christians to uphold to what the Bible says, because the Bible is inspired by God. It's He told the prophets what to write in the Bible, word for word. So the Bible is 100% correct. But let's start honoring our country. Let's put aside politics. And remember the men and women that lost their lives for this flag. And let's honor them. And, set forth a good example for our children, our grandkids, our nephews, nieces, my neighbors. And instead of making all these negative comments in front of our kids about our country, start talking about something positive in our country. And, and if you really don't like our country, there's nothing that says you can't leave. And I really appreciate everybody watching today. And 9 o'clock on 4th of July, I said Monday, but it's 4th of July. Let's wave our flags, or make sure our flags are put out there so people can see that we are proud of our country. We love our country. And, we can just start being a positive influence instead of being so negative all the time. God bless everybody. Thank you, everybody.